I'm here today to tell you guys about some of the things that I've learned in the 1 year of being single. So if you are a certified lover girl like me, or if you're just now getting out of a long-term relationship, a relationship you thought was going to be your last, and you're down and out, you don't know how to feel, you feel like this gut-wrenching pain is never going to end, and you don't see the light at the end of the tunnel, I'm here to be your light.
I hope you know what it's taking. You know this cookie's for the begging. Kitty, kitty, baby, get her things to rest. Cause you done beat her like the 68 Jets.
What's going on, y'all? It's the one and the only, the first and the finest, Miss Wright. And thank you so much for tuning into this YouTube video. If you are new here, get a head start by liking, commenting, and subscribing. I promise you are going to love it here so much. And if you're reoccurring, mwah, y'all already know the vibes. Thank you so much for your support. So in today's video, we will be doing a quick little chit chat before I head out to a solo date. I am very proud to say that we are either nearing or we have just crossed the threshold of my 1 full year of singleness. Yes, you guys, round of applause. Girl loves her relationship, okay? Real bad. I'm a new and improved woman, and I'm so proud of myself for making it this far in my journey of just dedicating time to myself, pouring into myself, loving myself more than I ever have before. I'm 26 years old. I broke up with the person who I thought I was going to relatively marry around Valentine's Day of 2023. And that alone sounds batshit crazy. So to now be approaching another Valentine's Day as a single person, no longer in a relationship, it's a full circle moment. A lot of people may take this time and feel a little bit depressed, feel lonely, feel emotional and upset, and all of those feelings are normal and they are okay. However, I went through a lot of different stages of grief. My breakup was the third of a couple. So I think that by a certain point I was a little bit numb. It was still very upsetting, and the timing of it all definitely wasn't ideal, because if you look at Valentine's Day from 2022 to Valentine's Day of 2023, which I have nothing to show you because it's absolutely nothing, it's like night and day. So the fact that I was able to weather that storm and then go through so many changes within that 1 year, the relationship was one of the very many things that I was going through. I was moving, uprooting my entire life. I was switching jobs. I was dealing with all types of stuff, friendship breakups, and then to have to deal with my relationship unfolding right in my own house, right in front of my eyes. We didn't just break up. Originally, he just moved back to Philadelphia, so it was a tear of we started off long distance when I moved here, then it wasn't, then it went back to it. It was just a lot. It was an emotional roller coaster, and I had been through a couple by that point, so I'm very, very, very proud of myself having been able to get to this point as unscathed as I have. It's a blessing. It really is. So I'm here today to tell you guys about some of the things that I've learned in the 1 year of being single. So if you are a certified lover girl like me, or if you are a serial monogamist, or if you're just now getting out of a long-term relationship, a relationship you thought was going to be your last, and you're down and out, you don't know how to feel, you feel like this gut-wrenching pain is never going to end, and you don't see the light at the end of the tunnel, I'm here to be your light. That's genuinely what I want to be for you guys. I'm so proud that I've been able to get to this point, and I want y'all to know that there is light at the end of the tunnel. Being single is not awful. I used to genuinely have such a bad connotation associated with singleness for whatever reason. I crave companionship, I crave partnership, I crave being craved, I crave being desired and wanted and loved and all of those things. I still do. I'm not saying that those feelings went away. I definitely didn't. But there's so many good things about being single that I think are slept on. So I'm here to remind anybody that might be new to the club, or if you're in a relationship and you hate it, but you're debating as to whether or not being single is better than the bullshit you're going through. I'm gonna tell you right now, it is. If you hate your life but you're scared of being single, come on, baby, because you deserve better. Come on over to the side, and I promise you, your Mrs. or Mr. Right is going to be waiting for you once you get you together. So we're going to get into all of that and more. If you're interested in content like that, please continue to watch. I have some gems for you, and I really hope that this video does something for your spirit the way that it's about to do something for mine, because I got some shit to get off my chest. Let's get into it, baby. Yeah. Yeah, let's go. So I'll just be doing a relatively light touch up because I have a little bit of tinted moisturizer on my face and blush and mascara, but I look washed out. And I'm about to take myself on a solo date. Nothing crazy, but I'm going to the movies, so why not make myself look kind of like something? So the first thing that I learned following 1 year of being single, it's just something that I probably did already know, but it just became super amplified, and that is that you cannot pour from an empty cup. I think for a while, myself and my ex were both pouring from an empty cup, but him exponentially. And I think that it was important and that it became amplified for me to realize that after the fact, because it helped me to not harbor any resentment. Don't get me wrong, like, it's not like lilies and roses and butterflies where he's concerned. I'm not like, oh yeah, let me call him once a week and check on him. No. But it helps you to not harbor any resentment when you consider that you cannot pour from an empty cup. You could be doing the breaking up, or you could be the broken up with. For those who are broken up with, if it is ever a time where the reason has anything to do with, like, I'm not ready, I thought I was ready, I wasn't ready, I can't give you what you need, you deserve X. We've all been there, my mom, and we've all heard this before. I'm here to let you know that, one, that is only a testament to your character. If you have ever been told that someone doesn't want to be in a relationship with you anymore because they realize that what you deserve they cannot offer you, it is a mature character trait for you to be able to look back on that situation and say, you know what, I respect that, I hear you, it makes me sad, it hurts my feelings, but I get it, I receive it. And hopefully when you are in that place, maybe you can spend a block. If I'm free and available, then maybe we can make something shake. But other than that, I hear you. Granted, you probably knew that when you got into it, and that's a whole other conversation for a whole other day. And they might have known that as well, but because you were in love, you might have ignored some of those things. However, being able to look back and say, you know what, I don't blame them for not being able to give me all that I really required out of a relationship when they weren't themselves all the way together. And this can also be applied to you if you were the one doing the breaking up, or if you realize you're being broken up with because you can't give all that you need to give to the relationship because you are not whole. There are a few things to unpack with that statement though. I feel like there is always this debate as to whether or not you can work on yourself while being in a relationship. Me, certified lover girl, always was a super stan that was BS, and anytime a man told you that, it was because it was a cop-out. I really just need to work on myself right now. Like, shut the hell up, you lying ass nigga. Sorry. You can tell I've heard that before. But yeah, like, I feel like there is some truth to it now, having been single for a year. So it depends on how full or empty your cup is. If you are going through some sort of depression, anxiety, trauma, toxicity from outside factors, it's not to say that you need to break up with your significant other and then fix the problems and then get back into it. That's the part that is not healthy. However, will you sign up for a relationship knowing that you don't have X amount of parts with you together that you know may or may not require your attention? So when you're in a relationship, you have to be cognizant of the fact that you're not solely thinking for yourself anymore. You have a partner, and the goal is for this person to become a life partner. So you're thinking about them in your future decisions. You're thinking about them, like, when you get that job offer, is you going to uproot your life and move. You're thinking about them. Literally, if you're hungry and you only got enough money to grab yourself some Burger King, you come in the house with Burger King and then ask me for none? Like your finances, your everything is all kind of intertwined, right? And it's the same argument that people say when they tell you if you're not making a certain amount of money, like, you shouldn't be dating. It's kind of like the same thing. I'm not saying you have to be 100% valid, straight, completely healed, no issues, no traumas, no problems. Like, no one's perfect, so you can't say, oh, I'm gonna wait until I'm this perfect individual in order to be in a relationship with anybody. No. However, get that therapy, read them self-help books, unpack that trauma, do all of those things, because you cannot pour from an empty cup. And I not only saw that statement manifest while I was in a relationship and in the darkest parts of that relationship, but I also saw that statement manifest following my relationship when I accomplished so many amazing things. Not to say I wasn't going to be able to accomplish those things had I stayed in the relationship, but once I got out of it, all of these great things started happening to me. I got a new job, I got a new crib, I got a new apartment, I got a new car. and you just can dedicate more time to yourself and more energy into yourself than ever before when you don't have to think about anybody else. That really was like, okay, like I really can now take this time to genuinely fill my cup up and prioritize me. And now, like, that's why after a year of doing it, I'm feeling better than ever. Is there still things to work on? For sure. I'm definitely not perfect, but I've learned that lesson that my cup is way more full than it ever was, and I feel so much more rejuvenated. If I was able to be a fantastic girlfriend at the state that I was in them last 3 years, this version of Miss Wright, wifey vibes are commencing. Yeah. Number 2, second thing that I learned is that serial dating does not heal your old wounds. Men, for me, can be band-aids. They are not healing the wound, but they are temporarily covering it up. That has been my reality for quite some time, and actually having to be single for a full year has really showed me that. I'm a lover girl through and through, and I'm always going to prefer a relationship over being single just because it's something that I genuinely desire. Granted, I had to unpack some of that. So some of it I can attribute to being a lover girl, right? And there are people that are lover boys, lover girls, and there are people that are more on the single side, like the streets a little bit more. To each his own. But when I had the time to be single, because normally I always had an understudy kind of like waiting in the back burner for my relationship to fail so they can kind of swoop up and save the day. Those people always were sitting on the sidelines for me. This was the first time I had it because I thought I was going to marry that man. So yeah, when I was single, like a Pringle, like a dollar bill. So it was different. And I had to really sit down and sit with my singleness. And during that time, I realized, okay, it's more to it for me than just being a lover girl. Like there's something that I'm trying to fill, and I couldn't pinpoint what it was. So again, I sought therapy, and I tried to actively just be more conscious of the decisions that I make when it came to men. Dating discipline is something that I'm still learning to practice, and that I need to practice. I wish y'all were here with me and could actually hold me accountable, because discipline in dating is something that I've struggled with for forever, because of all the things I just said about all of the lovey-dovey shit that I like and all of the hopes and fantasies and fairy tale dreams that I want for myself. Like I will romanticize the bummiest, crummiest men. I will romanticize the bare minimum ass people that really don't deserve all that I give them, because it's this craving of a feeling that I'm looking for. And I just started to genuinely unpack that. So when I say like serial monogamy and serial relationships, serial dating isn't going to heal those old wounds, I'm saying a year of being single has taught me and will teach you to reflect on yourself and learn what triggers you have, what traumas you may need to unpack yourself. And it'll actually make you a better you for you, and then all in all for the person that you're actually supposed to be with. Okay? Because that brings me to my next point. What's meant for you will not miss you, baby. Okay? There was a time in my life where I felt like the world was coming to an end because my relationship came to an end. Not the most recent time, but a previous situation. When I broke up with one of my exes, I thought the world was going to end. When I tell you, I was crying literally every day. I could not function. I could not do things. And it was because I had so much pressure in an idea of what I thought the relationship was going to be. And it wasn't that. It had become clear to me that wasn't that, but I could not accept it mentally. I'm like, this is not how it's supposed to go. I'm also extremely type A, and I am a Virgo. So I say all that to say, you tell God your plans and he's gonna laugh in your face. What's new? But I think the part that makes being single, or trying to wrap your brain around being single for any amount of time, is that at least for me right now, you start to ask yourself all these questions. Well, I'm 26. When am I gonna meet my husband? I have to date I need to date my person for this amount of time, and then we need to be married for this amount of time. We need to be engaged for this amount of time. Then we gotta get married, and then we gotta be married for X amount of time before we start having a baby. Like, you just start trying to plan and figure out, well, if that's not my person, then who? Then when? Where am I gonna find them? Are they even in Atlanta? do I need to move? How is my future gonna look if my child's father is from wherever? My child's father not gonna be from Philly? How are we gonna do the holidays? Like, all of these things start going through your head, and it's really not that deep, bro. It's not that deep. I want you to know, bro, because I went through this so bad. And just kind of feeling like the world is coming to an end is really, really not. Especially if you're my age. If you're in your 20s to any degree, 30s, early 30s, teenage years, like, y'all, the world is not coming to an end, and what is meant for you will not miss you. It sucks, because when you have so much pressure on a thing and you have your brain wrapped around it, you're committed to this idea, like, I'm going to marry this person. I was confident, and you couldn't tell me Nathan years about it. I and this person, lovely, wedded, ring, rock, honeymoon, babies. Like, what is you talking about? So trying to like unlearn that and grapple with the fact that that's not accurate, it's hard at first. It is very hard, but once you start to really reestablish your faith, and that is the important part in this point, you need to have faith that what is meant for you will not miss you. So while it is devastating, and while you had so many hopes and dreams and aspirations for this one individual, know that if it is coming to an end and you've done all that you could do to put your best foot forward to try, and it's not working out, you're not getting what you need, or you're not able to reciprocate what that person needs, it's just not meant. It's just not meant, and that is okay, because there is somebody that is. It's just not them. This also kind of like seamlessly ties into my next point, which is pretty amazing, and that is that the possibilities are endless. When you are single, the possibilities are endless. Dream it, do it, live it, enjoy it. Okay? I can't believe that at my big age, I had never dated anybody that was like considerably more successful than I was. Now, the guys that I'm attracting, the guys that I am dating, or that I'm interested in, they're all well off. Granted, that doesn't mean that they are great, and I don't want you to get googly eyes, because you might be seeing some things that you ain't never seen before. Don't start putting on the hazy shades and be forgetting about your morals and your standards and everything else because you're seeing these things for the first time. But know that the opportunities and the possibilities are endless. So while it may feel like your world came crumbling down to an end when that relationship failed, think about all of the things that used to kind of like just piss you off a little bit. It might be something so small. Like, you might have loved that girl up, down, and around the corner, but I don't know, maybe she talked a lot. Maybe he was super fine, Jalen Hurts fine, but he had poor stamina, or he was short, or he didn't do the date thing that often. Like, that his idea of a date was something that was basic and boring. Like, it's always that one little caveat, and especially when you get in a long-term relationship, people get super comfortable. So what I want you to do, instead of harping on the sadness and the grief and the disappointment that you may have gotten from this situation not working out, consider all of the possibilities that you now have at your fingertips. We sometimes think that we can't acquire or obtain a certain kind of person because it's like out of our reality, right? But I want you to know that at any time that you are single, because I don't support cheating. This is a non-cheating channel. Anytime that you are single, the world is at your fingertips, baby. They say there's more fish in the pond, or there's more something in the sea. I don't know what the saying is, but the point is, like, they weren't lying when they said that. And sometimes it might not feel that way because of whatever situation, like wherever you're at, you're like, oh, ain't no fine black men in Idaho where I live, or at this school all of the fine men are taken, or something like that. And I want you to know, for one, it might not seem that way, but that's not always the case. Get out of those limiting beliefs, and you might bump into that person at the grocery store. And for number 2, change your scenery. Wanna know why? Because you can do it now. You can do it now, baby. Because who do you have to think for? Who do you have to worry about? Who do you have to ask for consideration? Whose input matters besides yours? Like, let's talk about it, baby. Whose input really matters besides yours? If you decided right now, like, you're fresh out of this relationship and it done drained you, you in your hometown, y'all was the hometown sweethearts, the couple of the century, y'all was supposed to be all these things. Fuck all that. Pack your bags. We're going to Houston. We're going to Charlotte. We going to DC. Come on to Atlanta. We'll take you. people tell you it. There's a lot of people that'll be like, oh, you know, there's no eligible bachelors in Atlanta. I've been single for a year, and I would like to say I'm not in a relationship or anything. I haven't met the love of my life, so not that I know of. So I'm not gonna say like those people are extreme caparonis or anything of that nature, but that might be their reality. So do not let any of those naysayers or people that speak that way, or even you, because you might do it to yourself, you might harbor on some of those limiting beliefs and that there aren't any eligible bachelors where you're at. There aren't any people that would consider you attractive. None of the people that are single or available would even consider dating my baby. The opportunities are endless, and you won't believe some of the things that you will stumble upon. Some of the things that will stumble upon you once you get rid of those limiting beliefs. On top of the fact that it's not solely that the possibilities are endless in terms of your dating pool. The possibilities are endless in terms of what you do with your time, with yourself. Which brings me to my next and my final points. Getting comfortable with your solitude minimizes the amount of BS that you will tolerate. If the possibilities are endless, right, in terms of what you do, how you spend your time, who you spend your time with, where you go, what vibrations you tolerate, what type of men you attract. You see where I'm going with this? Getting comfortable with your own solitude is probably one of the largest things that I've taken away from being single for a year. I've struggled with that my entire life. I always have. And again, I'm not sure why. Struggling with my solitude has always been an issue for me. And just not having my phone not vibrating like all damn day, it still to this day kind of bothers me if my phone don't go off. Like with a boy. I love my friends, but wait the next day. I can't help but feel that way, and I don't know what that is, and I'm working on that. I'm in therapy and I'm reading books, I'm listening to videos like this. But getting comfortable with your solitude will allow you to take better advantage of all of the opportunities and possibilities that are now at your fingertips. The world is vast. Your options are so much more vast than they ever were. You were always tolerating probably something that was a lot, like only a fraction of what you are capable of receiving. So when you get comfortable with being alone, you master that solitude and you start to enjoy it. Your tolerance for tomfoolery, for BS, for people that just don't do it for you, you're less likely to settle when you are cool with being alone. Oh my gosh, I'm speaking to myself. It's crazy pants. If your standards are in the gutter, a mouse instead of a rat is going to look like Prince Charming compared to a bum. But it's really just a mouse compared to a rat. You still got lion, tigers, and bears out there, baby. Like, is the mathing for y'all the way it's for me right now? Because I'm really getting my one off. I've never learned that, and I'm still learning that day to day. But really leaning into my solitude. Like I said, I'm about to go on a solo date right now. I was like, you know what? I don't got no plans on this Saturday. And I've had those moments, those weak moments where it's like I could hit up a dude and see what they're doing, but they're probably just gonna ask me to come over. I wanna be nasty. Like, I wanna be courted. So I'm gonna court myself. I'm gonna go to the bar, have an espresso martini, and edit a YouTube video until the movie starts. What y'all finna do with y'all evening? Wait around for a man? Take care of yourself. Get so like full and so full of like enjoyment when where yourself is concerned, that when somebody wants to come into your space, when they want to come into your vibe and your energy, they gotta be coming a certain kind of way, because you're not even gonna bat an eyelash. You're gonna be like, I got a date with this new Netflix show. It's called Fool Me Once, and that joint is fire, and I can't wait to cuddle up in a bed and set my lights to magenta and eat my favorite snack and watch my show. And you want to do what? You don't got no plans. You want to pull up and disturb my peace? All of the opportunities and possibilities that are at your fingertips will be taken better advantage of, because now, instead of tolerating the BS like that, someone gonna hit your phone and be like, oh, what are you doing on Saturday evening? I'd like to make a reservation for 2 at this place. I want to take you out to eat. I want to da 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 da. Let me see if I can squeeze you in. Like, you see how we come in? This is how you will learn to come. You will learn to carry it after being single for an X amount of time. I personally am still a work in progress. I haven't mastered all of those feelings, but all of those feelings are feelings that I feel. And I see the light at the end of the tunnel. And for once, I'm not cracked out, fiend out, down bad, stressed, because I'm not cuffed. Like, I'm okay.
Do I want to meet my Mr. Wright?
Yeah.
But like, I know he coming, and I gotta get to the best version of myself so that I can be who I want to be, not only for me but for him. As the last thing I will leave you with is that I've decided I would like for my next relationship to be my last. At my age, I feel like that's valid. Granted, is there a chance that it's not the case? There is a chance that that's not the case. But that's what I want. So am I gonna rush into anything? Am I gonna jump at the first man that bites? No. I'm gonna take my time. I'm gonna look at the red flags that I used to ignore. I'm going to address them head on. I'm going to say the things that I used to bite my tongue about because I was just so fiend out and so pressed for love, desperation. Ugh. I would just tolerate some of the people really tell me all the time that they are surprised when I tell them about some of the things that I've dealt with in my past. And it's not with my most recent relationship, just over the course of my life. Because people look at me, I guess, because of how I carry myself, or maybe how I was raised, or how I present myself in different settings, and all these different things that I acquired and I've been able to do for myself. They think I'm up here, and I am. I'm a high value woman through and through. I can act bad sometimes on the weekend, but I am a high value woman. I'm a good person. So are you. You deserve a lot. You deserve the world. There is no need to tolerate or to settle for anything beneath of what you truly deserve. And you need to know that you deserve every and anything that your heart desires. It is not unfathomable to receive nice gifts for no reason. It is not unfathomable to have a man with true chivalry through and through his bones. Like, I'm opening every door for you. I'm not even letting you touch your purse, let alone your wallet. Sorry, y'all. My memory card ran out of storage. I'm good for that when I'm getting the chat, and when I was right on the that always happens. But essentially, I just wanted y'all to know that no matter what it is that you crave and you desire and that you want for yourself, it is possible. It is obtainable. But you got to work on yourself. Put more energy into yourself than anything else during this time, because this is the time to do it. This is the time to be selfish. Being single isn't awful. It's fun. It has its low moments, but it's fun, and you can make the best out of it. And through, if you are a relationship girly or a gentleman like myself, it still can be a phenomenal time for you in your growth, in your self-development journey. This is the time where you can really make yourself the version of yourself that you want to be, so that you attract the type of person that you want. I hope that this video found you well. I hope it found you at the moment that you needed to see it. Thank you so much for watching and for staying tuned to my channel. Please, if you haven't already, like, comment, and subscribe. I hope that this video was beneficial to you, because it was definitely beneficial to me to talk about it. So again, for all of the single people out there, I got you. We in this together. Our people are making their way towards us, and they are doing so in a way that needs to be done. They're getting themselves ready, up and down, head to toe, so that when they walk through the door, it's not even going to be a question. We already going to know what it's giving. And we're getting ourselves ready so that we can receive that at the time that it's supposed to happen. I'll keep y'all tuned for when it happened for me, and y'all got to keep me tuned for when it happened for you, okay? I will see y'all in the next video. Thank you so much for watching, and talk to you later. Bye.